Welcome to the Audi Garage. In these videos, I'm going to take you along for a week in my life in the shop and hopefully show you guys some interesting and unique stuff that I'm working on. This week, it looks like we're going to be working on a Mark IV for the majority of it, so it might not be so interesting, but I also have to prepare for a road trip that's coming up, so I've got lots of other things to do besides work in the shop. But stick around and hopefully you'll see some new and interesting stuff. Alright, so this morning we are back on to the Mark IV. We need to get this clutch swap finished up. I'm also doing the rear main seal on it. It is leaking or weeping slightly, so I have to drain the oil, pull that apart, rear main seal, then clutch and pressure plate, and then we will have the trans back together. Once I've confirmed that, I'll probably take the car for a test drive, make sure it's driving fine if we have any other issues, and then I'll be moving on to cleaning the intake and swapping out the turbo. It looks like the turbo actuator has some play in the arm mechanism, causing an overboost or underboost condition. I can't remember exactly what the code is. But I have a good used turbo, or a turbo that looks like it's good and used, that I'll be swapping on after I check it out a little bit more. So I got the trans bolted on, everything's buttoned up. I just need to fill it up with oil and run it for a bit and make sure that rear main isn't leaking. I'm always a little bit worried about those. They're not a big deal to install, but it's just always good to check afterwards and make sure it's not going to leak. So yeah, nothing too much exciting today. Just trying to get this Mark IV done. Still have to go over the intake, the turbo, rear brake calipers, and a few little odds and ends here and there, so a little bit of work, or a lot of work ahead of us, but I'll be able to get through it. So I didn't film anything yesterday, but I got the intake and turbo off the TDI. I pulled off the downpipe, which is badly broken at the flex. Cleaned off the intake manifold, so it's no more carbon built up. Used the torch trick and some oven cleaner, worked out pretty well. I also stripped down the replacement used turbo, ready for new gaskets and such, and swap over the oil drain. I cleaned off the original one as well and sprayed some oven cleaner in there and freed up the vanes. This is probably not the best solution. Who knows what's going to happen, but we'll see, I guess. This is what I was given to me. EGR cooler is off and the delete kit parts are coming today. So got a lot of parts to pick up and quite a bit of work to do to finish this, so hopefully we'll be able to get it all done today, if not most of it. So this car had a EGR delete performed on it before I got it, but what we're doing now is deleting the whole EGR cooler. So from Chunky Monkey, we got this EGR block-off plate here, comes with a new gasket and the copper crush washers. So we install that onto the manifold. The kit comes with this barb fitting, and also this replacement hose. So now this hose back here, instead of it running into the cooler and then back out of the cooler through this hose, basically this will plug into the heater core line back there and then back into here, and then this small line here where it comes up to this T, it'll be deleted and we will put in this barb fitting to make it straight. So again, that kit was on chunkymonkeyparts.com. I'll try to remember to put a link in the description. It's really affordable, quick shipping, good customer service. So the TDI is finally back together. Got everything buttoned up. EGR cooler is fully deleted. Rear brake calipers have been put on. Turbo replaced. Intake cleaned. Did the thermostat housing and thermostat, so now it's up to 90 degrees on operating temperature after our drive. Obviously oil change, oil filter. Topped up the coolant after we lost it all doing the thermostat and EGR cooler delete. And the clutch feels really good. Obviously it's got quite a bit of break-in time, so we won't really be able to see if the used turbo is performing well and fixes the problem with the overboost and underboost sporadic conditions. Oh, and I also fixed up the downpipe. You won't be able to see it, but I put in a new flex section and added a short piece of pipe because I got a shorter flex. But yeah, I'm happy to have this thing finally done and out of the shop and to start on the next thing. So it's Monday now, but I'm going to finish up last week's video with just a quick summary of the weekend. Got the Mark IV out. Everything seems to be okay, other than there is a intermittent limp mode, low boost issue that's happening. So we'll figure that out at a later time. It'll be a lot easier once the clutch is broken in. We might need to adjust the actuator slightly, or double check if there's any binding issues, but there wasn't when the turbo went in. I also prepped our personal TDI for a road trip, so I just did some brakes and an oil change, and it seems to be running a lot smoother. There's no noises from the brakes, so that was just a little boring maintenance work. Obviously I didn't film that. And then we did have a little bit of an impromptu B5S4 work come in, so I'm not going to show it right now, but make sure to subscribe and check out next week's video, because what I have right in front of me is kind of neat, and we're going to do a little bit of tinkering with it. It should be a very quick, short job, so it'll be interesting to watch. So again, if you haven't subscribed, make sure to subscribe. Hit the like button if you like the video, and leave me a comment if you have any suggestions or questions or comments about what you've seen me do. See you guys in the next one.